Hey guys, what's up? Bargain Hobo here, and it's time to finally answer the questions you guys gave me, and gotta say, you guys gave me some awesome questions and really made me think, so good job on that. Alright, let's get right to it. So the first question is from Jesse Kimbley, who asks, what are the top 5 games he wants to review? Well, I'm gonna kind of cheat a little bit and allow myself to have an entire franchise for one slot in this. So first off, I'd love to review Dragon Quest Heroes on the PS4. I beat it earlier this month, I had a great time with it. I'm currently playing through the sequel, but it's gonna take a while to beat that, but yeah, Dragon Quest Heroes was great. And the second is the entire WarioWare franchise, barring Snap, because I don't think I can get that anymore. That's like my all-time favorite gaming franchise, so I would really like to review those games. Twisted's going to be kind of interesting, though. So number 3 would be these guys here. Really Game Gear games in general, but specifically the Jurassic Park Game Gear games. Excuse me. Sorry. I'm going to get an Analog Pocket later on, and I will get the dock and the Game Gear adapter so I can finally properly review those without an emulator. Yeah, excuse me. So Jurassic Park games and Game Gear in general. And then number 2, I guess, well, number 4 I'm going to call it at this point, I would really like to review, oh gosh, I had it earlier. I'd like to review Indiana Jones, Staff of Kings on the PSP. You know, that was a great game. I even talked about it briefly on my channel earlier, but I'd like to be able to review that game since now I can probably review PSP games. And the last one, actually, I'd really like to do some Superman games. Superman Returns, Shadow of Apocalypse, maybe even Superman 64. I mean, you can see I have a Superman poster back there, and that's not even the only one. I have like a bunch more over here. Yeah, maybe I should do like an office tour, but I have to clean up first. Yeah. Alright, and the next question is from Pragmatic, who asks, what is the best game you played this year? You know, that really comes down between WarioWare Get Together and Dragon Quest Heroes. I mean, I pre-ordered WarioWare Get Together, and Dragon Quest Heroes was, like I said earlier, just so engrossing. I put so much time into it, and both are franchises that I like, but I have to give the nod to Dragon Quest Heroes because it was just so engrossing. And WarioWare is great. Like, play it if you haven't. If you have a Switch and you like wacky stuff, you definitely need WarioWare in your life. But yeah. And the next question is from Sweaty Couch, who asks, hey there, what's the inspiration behind your catchphrases Hobo Up and Hobo Out? Well, the Hobo Up one, okay, so I don't know if you've seen it. There's one show, Superhero Squad. It's basically like they have like the Marvel heroes, like, you know, Captain America, Iron Man, Hulk, Thor, people like that. And they like chibify them, make them all chibi, and put them in like an action comedy show. And at the very beginning of the theme song, Iron Man says, time to hero up. And hero and hobo both have the same number of letters, both start with H and with O, and have 2 syllables. So hero up, hobo up, that's where that came from. And then Hobo Out, well, that one's not really special. I just thought of it randomly during an earlier video, and I liked it, so I kept it. So yeah. And the next set of questions is from J-Chip Show, and his first one is, what game left you feeling most accomplished after beating it? Definitely have to say Conan on the Xbox 360. Conan, I haven't played it. It's like a hack and slash beat 'em up, and it normally wouldn't be that hard, but it's one of those games that it like artificially inflates difficulty, making things super cheap. Like, enemies can block entire combos, and the bosses can just knock you out really quick. So it's like one of those games that's just annoying more than it's hard. But I beat it, and I kind of shouted a little bit when I did. It just I beat that game. And I plan to beat it more later, but, well, for right now, that's what it is. And a runner-up would be the Challenge of the God mode. Challenge of the Gods in the first God of War game. That was bullcrap, and I beat it, but, man, it took... I think it knocked a little time off my life expectancy. Yeah. His next question was, what is your favorite food? Now, for many years, I would say that was macaroni and cheese and hot dogs and ketchup, but a couple years ago, I changed it now. My favorite is burgers. I just love a cheeseburger. Oh, a real quick note here. You noticed by now the camera's lopsided? Well, I had it like I wanted it. It had a little pneumatic arm right here. Not pneumatic, just a little arm thing right here to hold it on top of my monitor. And it used to hold up right, but then recently my cat knocked my monitor down, and I haven't been able to get the camera back up right. But I have a new thing in the mail that will hopefully get around that. It just will have it behind the monitor instead of on top of it. So here's something that works better. Anyway, that out of the way. His third question was, how many consoles broke down on you? Only 2 that I can think of. So over there, I don't know if you can see the GameCube back there. That is my childhood GameCube, but unfortunately the laser is kind of worn out on it. And also I had a DS Lite that I broke as a kid. And in both cases, because I was heavily using Action Replay, I think that's what contributed to ruining the cartridge slots on this DS. And the wore out the laser on the GameCube, and I would like to get that GameCube fixed later on because it's my childhood one, so it is a lot of memories. I have another GameCube that I play more though, but anyway, so yeah, have that happen to me. His fourth question was, do you keep your games sealed, or are you on the side of being Captain Algebra that opens your games? Nah man, I open them. Games are meant to be played. You have Captain Algebra, have it right. And J-Chip's final question was, will you review Persona 4? Well, I'd like to review Persona 4. I can't promise when that will be, but I'd like to. It's on the list of games I want to talk about. And the next person is Robert Van Gaal, and sorry if I mispronounced your name. I'm not familiar with that name. Or the pronunciation of it, just to say. Anyway, Robert's first question was, what got you into collecting? Excuse me. Well, Robert, I hope you weren't expecting this grandiose story, because I don't have one of those. Basically, when I was 3 years old, my parents bought me a Game Boy. Well, my siblings and I all got Game Boys, and I was the one that stuck with it the most, and all I ever wanted, especially growing up, video games, and, for Christmas and birthday, that's when I get most of them, or on the rare occasion that I have my own money, especially now that I'm an adult with a paycheck, I can get more games than before. So it just, I guess you could call it a childhood habit that never broke. And then his second question is, where does your name come from? So, the Bargainman Hobo came from, several years ago, I was having a chat with my friend Clark. And Clark, if you don't know him, he's the guy that draws my thumbnails. And he was commenting on how all the games I play are either nobody knows about or nobody likes. And my response was, yes, I am the Bargain Bin Hobo. And that's where that came from. So, it literally just the first thing came to mind to respond to that. And, well, the rest is history, I guess. And his next question was, what's your favorite console of all time and why? Well, if I can allow nostalgia to influence my decision, then definitely the GameCube. Like I said, there's my childhood console there, and it's just so many fond memories playing with my brother, bringing it to different people's houses before the pandemic. Heck, before the pandemic, I brought it to school with me several times, because at my college there's this little area, a little game room area, you could hook up a game. Some TVs, and they had a big CRT back there, and I would just hook up to that. But if I'm not allowed to use nostalgia to influence my decision, then the Switch. I love its games and the fact that I can take it on the go if I want to. And his next question is, future plans? Really, I have this big project that I'd like to finally get done this year. I've had on the back burners basically since the very beginning of my YouTube channel, and I have most of the stuff for it. I have a couple more things I need to get. And I was gonna do it last summer, but it just didn't fall. I'm kind of glad it didn't work out then, because now I have a little more stuff I can talk about for it. So yeah, but more reviews, more projects. I'd like to do more crossovers too, but as it stands, those are the big ones. And his final question is, what's your favorite group on Facebook, and why is it the Classic Games of Colorado? Well, I will tell you why it's a Classic Gamer of Colorado. We're just such a tight-knit community. We're all a bunch of gamers from all walks of life, and we're all just here to gather and talk about games. And a couple months ago, let's see, it was about August, I want to say. I don't quite remember what month it was, but we had that swap meeting. It was a great time. And even when people try and drive a wedge between us, which some people have tried, and I think Robert can best tell that story if he chooses to. But yeah, even when people try and drive a wedge between us, it fails, and we're really a tight-knit community of gamers who just want to help each other out with our gaming passions. So that's why that's my favorite. Now the next question is from Josh Norcross, who asks, the best bargain bin game you found that was way underpriced. Well, this one, lucky you, has a story attached to it. So, it was junior year of high school. I really wanted to get another copy of Simpsons Hit and Run. We had it as kids, but it died on us because we played it so much we killed it. But I didn't have a driver's license or a job at the time, so I wasn't able to get my own copy of it. Well, fast forward to the very last day of school, and so now we're off for summer, and my brother invited me along to Entertain Mart. It was like my favorite store ever. And like I said, I didn't have a driver's license or anything, so I was going to jump at whatever chance I could take to go there. And so we go, and I go to the GameCube section, it's sadly been shrinking lately, and I find Simpsons Hit and Run on sale. Now, granted, it was just the disc in a generic box and no manual, but I didn't care a dang bit. And I actually had enough money in my pocket, so it wasn't even a question. I still have that same copy. I would like to eventually get a proper case and manual for it, but for right now, I'm happy to have that game back in my life. I need to play it more, but yeah, I love that game. Excuse me, and the next game is from Chris Wilk. Next question is from Chris Wilk, who asks, if you were a hot dog, would you eat yourself? I know you would. You're damn right I would. Hot dogs are really good. And normally I don't answer joke questions like that, Chris, so consider yourself lucky. And the final question is from Logan Sircow, who asks, how many games on your backlog? Gosh, I can't give an exact number, but it's over 100, because I'm just always buying games and I don't play all of them, so I've just so many games that are just sitting on my shelf for months and years and haven't beaten, but that's part of why I love to do the 52 challenge, so I can knock a whole bunch off my catalog, of my backlog in 1 year. I never quite get to the end of the backlog if I'm always expanding it. Well, there it goes. Well, anyway, guys, thank you so much. Those are all the questions I got this year. So like I said, my plan for 2022, well, just more reviews and whatnot, but stay tuned, because in January, not only am I going to drop my anniversary special, 5th anniversary, wow, it's crazy, but I'm also going to be dropping my 200 subscriber special. I said this before, but guys, thank you so much for all the subs. That I never thought we'd ever reach this point and this stupid little journey I'm taking, but thank you. I've rambled about that long enough, but just thank you. Well, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Hobo out!